Featured here are those fortunate enough to participate in my All Hallows Eve Iron Deck tournament. Enjoy. I am here with the other Tracy, who will be participating in our All Hallows Eve Iron Deck tournament. The other Tracy, welcome to Iron Deck.
Chairman, it is a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. Now, first things first, what deck are you bringing to our Grand Melee?
The Grand Melee shall see me pilot the deck Goddamn These Bite Marks Deep in My Arteries, an homage to my favorite band, the Mountain Goats, and it is piloted by the one, the only me, and it is helmed by Elenda the Dusk Rose. Orzhov vampires all the way down.
All right, so having Elenda the Dusk Rose be your commander, I assume the deck building restriction didn't rankle that much on you.
The deck building restriction was like slipping into a comfortable pair of pajamas.
That's what I like to hear.
The vampires do exactly what I want them to do in this setup.
So are there any combos we should be looking out for?
There are a few combos. There is the absolutely classic and very vampiric combo of Exquisite Blood and Sanguine Bond, because if you're going to take... Hey, B, give me just a little bit to wrap this up, okay? You've been very patient and very good, and I appreciate it. You ready to roll? Yeah, we're on camera.
She was worried about the Exquisite Blood Sanguine Bond combo.
She was worried about the Exquisite Blood Sanguine Bond combo. I was going to say that if you're going to drain some of an opponent's life, why not just take it all?
I agree. She also agrees.
She does agree. So we have that. We have because we are definitely playing against other decks that I'm going to just assume there's some black going on. There's some graveyard hate sitting around, because we don't need people playing with their dead things in front of us. You're supposed to dispose of those things neatly into exile.
Perfect.
As you can see, I'm no stranger to adversity.
Coming in well prepared for the field.
Absolutely. What's a zombie or a spirit or the skeleton or in the face of a 15-month-old child?
So how does Elenda the Dusk Rose and Goddamn These Bite Marks Deep in My Arteries reflect you as a player?
So I like control, but I don't like blue control. That's not really my way of doing things. What I want to do is control the board state in such a way that you simply don't want to mess with what I have going on. So we're going to go wide with tokens. We're going to go tall with counters if we need to. And above all, we're going to be doing the aristocrats thing of sacrificing things to drain life, because it should all be mine.
I'm excited to see this deck do its thing.
Me too.
And so is she.
Yes. Yeah. Are you going to wave this time? Yeah. There we go.
So where can people find you on the internet?
The same way that you introduced me, anywhere as the other Tracy. That's TRACY, because no matter what your frame of reference for Tracy's is, I'm the other one.
You're the other one. And what would you do with a lightly played All Hallows Eve?
With a lightly played All Hallows Eve, I would... Gosh, I don't really know. It's tempting to say that I would find a monetary use for it because we have another baby coming.
Well,
but
immediately selling it is a acceptable answer. It's not a card that gets a lot of use these days.
Yeah, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. That's probably what's going to end up happening with it. I know that's not a sexy answer, but like, I've got a family and I'm a stay-at-home parent. My wife is the one who works the full-time job, and every little bit helps. So,
as my former paramour said, you could just be using Living Death or Living End. They're better, and they don't take 2 turns to go off.
and who are we to call Liliana wrong?
Exactly. So thank you, the other Tracy. I look forward to seeing you in our Grand Melee.
I
Well,
look forward to it as well. I will not have the kiddo with me at that point in time. We have other accommodations. So you'll see a much more consistent presentation from me in the melee itself.
alrighty. Thank you so much. I'm here with JimWolfie, another of our participants in Iron Deck All Hallows Eve. Jim, welcome.
Yeah, happy to be here. Let's go. Got this.
So tell me about the deck you're playing.
So I feel like the comment section would kill me if I didn't play werewolves. And I don't want to be murdered today. Or stripped of fur.
And so which werewolf is going to lead your tribe?
So he is this sweet werewolf where he costs 1 and red and green. And he's a 3/3, Tolovar, the Dire Overlord or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know Tor.
Yeah. You do?
I know Tor.
How is your head still attached to your body?
We spent some time in college together.
Oh. Oh. I'm so sorry.
I know.
Yeah.
He was a lot. So can I ask you, has the deck building restriction been a hindrance or a help to you in creating this deck?
So the deck building restriction is for werewolves, not wolf. Wolf is a much easier type to go for. But turns out there is more than 10 werewolves that don't make me want to vomit.
Did you have to resort to Lesser Werewolf from Legends?
Isn't that black?
Touche. Good. So you haven't had to resort to Lesser Werewolf.
I don't think I can even try.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. No, we did have to resort to Keswick Prowler, who, Sinuous Predator reminds me of Resident Evil too much. Yeah.
So,
He's not doing so hot.
how does the werewolf deck reflect your soul as a Magic player?
What's a soul? The actual answer is
Well played.
I am very much Sans White player, or 5 color. This is itching some inner Timmy vibes of I attack with werewolf and then win.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
can I ask you, should you win the All Hallows Eve, what is your plan for it?
What is my plan to win this All Hallows Eve?
Or what is your plan should you win the All Hallows Eve?
Oh, frame it, sell it, cast illustrious dark magic. I don't know. I haven't thought that far.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I like both of those ideas. I said in a previous interview, the answer immediately sell it is perfectly acceptable. It's not the most played of the cards, and as my ex once said, why not use Living Death or Living End?
I'm playing 93-94.
Copy that. So, where can we find you on the internet after this tournament?
Yeah. So, I went to school for game dev. If I start making a devlog channel, you will find me at YouTube JimWolfie. If you want to find me in Magic Spaces, I am on the subreddit's Discord as a tournament organizer. Feel free to flood the LFG queues asking to play. There's also a LFG night on Thursday and historically Friday for both cockatrice and webcam games. And also I shitpost on Twitter. I'm trying to go pro at shitposting on Twitter. It's a very, very tough niche market.
Aren't we all?
It's actually not good. Yeah. No.
Well, if you do start the channel, please send us a link. We'll put it in.
Yeah. No, not everyone in Magic Spaces wants to hear about boring game dev content, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll still throw it up there.
Yeah, sure.
Let us know. Anyways, thank you, JimWolfie, and your werewolves. We will see you in the tournament. Welcome to Iron Deck.
Yeah, thanks. It's great.
I am here with Mod, aka Dan, who's going to be joining our Iron Deck All Hallows Eve tournament. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us about the commander you'll be bringing into our melee.
I am going to be playing Micaeus the Unhallowed. He is a big zombie cleric, and I am going to try to bring the spirit of the undead into everyone and make us all horrible life loss. Just lots of life loss, lots of zombie crawling, and lots of horrible undead goodness.
That's what we want from All Hallows Eve. Now, can I ask you, is the deck building restriction a help or a hindrance in this case?
Well, I approached the deck knowing that I needed to stuff 10 zombies in here. Micaeus, I figured, is like one of the best zombies. I didn't do a whole lot of like deep searching, Gryfall searching on zombies, but I figure Micaeus has got to be one of the best. But I found pretty quickly that a lot of things that I would want to be running in this Micaeus deck are coincidentally zombies. So it worked out pretty well, honestly. The zombies that I have, there's none that I'm ashamed of. There's I think the quote unquote worst one that I'm running is called Shambling something or other. It is a common zombie that makes a treasure when it dies, and still, that's fantastic. It's a really good zombie. So I'm honestly happy with all of my zombies.
Yeah, better than Skaith zombies.
Yes.
Zombies.
Better than skeletons, too. I think if anyone shows up with a skeleton deck, like, we're going to show that meat on the bones is what's going to get you.
So, may I ask, how does this deck, Micaeus the Unhallowed, reflect your soul?
It reflects my soul in that it's very black and dead and horrible and horrifying.
Do you think this deck has a chance against the other spooky Halloween decks in the field?
I think I'm going to crush it. I think I'm going to smear everyone's face in the undead dust. And yeah, I think I'm going to get this in 2 games. There's going to be 2 games that are going to be played, and I'm going to win both of them.
I love the confidence. I also love.
Hey, I don't have all day to play a million games. I got to win them quick. We got to get through them, you know?
I love that, especially for my editing.
Yep.
So, if you were to claim victory, what will you do with an All Hallows Eve?
Oh man, let me tell you that All Hallows Eve is actually a card that I've been wanting to get for many, many years because I love Halloween, and I would stick it in my collection binder, right with all of my other awesome black cards that I keep in there. So yeah, it would become a treasured part of my collection for sure.
So far, you are the first to not say probably sell it.
That's no, not yet. Maybe in a bunch of years, but no, I have always wanted that card for like a really long time. So yeah, I would very gladly put it in my collection.
Excellent. Well, it's good to know that it will potentially be going to a good home.
Oh, it's going to 100%. Trust me. Mark my words.
I love it. Calling their shot like Joe Namath. Well, Mod, aka Dan, thank you so much. Where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Moderately Anonymous MTG all across the internet. And I'm sorry, I know that's a bunch of syllables, but that name is going to be linked somewhere and you'll be able to find it really easy. It's Moderately MTG on Twitter, and you can find my link tree and all of my other links on there. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. I make great CDH content all across the internet. So come find me.
Thank you so much. And welcome to Iron Deck.
Thank you for having me. Very, very excited.
We are here with Liliana, who is going to be competing in our All Hallows Eve Commander Melee. Liliana, welcome.
Thank you. It was wise of you to invite me on.
I think so.
It seems like an event like this is kind of made for someone like me.
That's exactly what I was thinking. No one better for our spooky Halloween episode than Liliana herself.
Exactly.
So can I ask, I know that of all the decks, yours is a bit more well known. Can I ask you about your commander?
Indeed. I actually have it right here.
Oh.
This is the deck known as the Legion of Sin and Necromancy. This is the deck I'll be playing for the tournament. And it is Liliana Heretical Healer / Defiant Necromancer. will be my commander.
Now, this deck is notorious. I had heard of it.
A
It
little bit.
preceded you.
It's become a bit infamous at this point.
How do you feel?
It truly
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say, how do you feel it will measure up with the other decks?
There are some competent players that I'm being matched with, but given that this is a deck that I made and play frequently and would regard as my signature deck, I think I have a bit of an edge in that regard because um, this is my masterpiece. This is my magnum opus, and I'm looking forward to showing it off, doing its thing, and full glory rather than shackled, as I sometimes have to play it.
So, how does the Legion of Sin and Necromancy reflect your soul?
This deck is the perfect combination of delicious flavor and brutal efficiency. I've loaded it with a number of Liliana cards, thematically speaking, but it also has exceptionally efficient and fast combo lines to score a protected win as quickly as possible. And it's pretty brutally effective at what it does. Zombies are a girl's best friend. We have
Yes.
my BFF Grave Crawler right here is the main win con. And I think that combination of, the aesthetic win from the Liliana cards and the efficient, just brutality that the deck can accomplish and bring is a good reflection of how I approach life and my playstyle in general.
I love it. And yes,
Why?
Liliana is.
Why?
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. Why do something well if you're not going to like look good doing it? You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. So, provided the deck comes through as expected, what would you plan to do with the All Hallows Eve?
I'm intending on making a second version of this deck because, as I mentioned a moment ago, I sometimes have trouble finding people who want to play at the level that this deck likes to play at. All Hallows Eve is an iconic, classic mono black card. I am the mistress of mono black. Mono black is my whole thing. So I feel like a slightly slowed down version of this deck would benefit greatly from a card like All Hallows Eve, which is an aesthetic win and also has a very powerful effect that would go well in a slightly slower version of this deck.
So, what would you say its power level is now?
Currently, so I would say that it is just sub CEDH in terms of power level, just due to the fact that I don't run as many fast mana rocks in the deck as would be optimal and as maximally efficient as it could be. But I've been I've been accused of it being a CEDH, a fringe CEDH deck by a lot of other CEDH players that I've played it against. But I myself would say that it is just below that level, not quite up to that level. And it is due to some choices that I've made in the deck that are aesthetically minded rather than like optimal efficiency. But nonetheless, the deck is still brutally effective and tends to close out games between turns 3 and 5, but has several turn 1 wins under its belt as well.
So, do you think the deck building restrictions have helped or hindered the deck?
I think honestly it helps it a bit because it was already within the confines of the restrictions of the tournament, of the spooky commander, the spooky tribe gimmick that we're doing for the All Hallows Eve tournament. The deck was already within those bounds as it stands. So I think that forcing everyone to play at a high power but within those bounds actually is a boon to the deck, because I didn't have to change anything, but other people are going to have to play the same way. So it's something I'm already used to.
Well, thank you. Where can people find you all over the internet?
Well, my username on literally every form of social media that I use, which is currently Twitter. I stream on Twitch, and I have a Patreon. And also, you can find all of my decks, including the Legion, on Moxfield at DefiantNecro. Just the word Defiant and then Necro, all one word. Like Defiant Necromancer.
I will make
And
sure. Oh, sorry.
oh, no, I apologize.
No, I was going to say
That's,
we'll make sure to link it all in the description.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right. Well, thank you, Liliana, for taking this time. And we will see you in the tournament. Welcome to Iron Deck.
Absolutely looking forward to it.